I don't know if I ever really told you the full story of bathroom wall guy.
No.
Back in my youthful days of college, there was a certain male that...
Oh, I remember this story.
There was a certain guy that was in my English class, and he kind of looked like if Tobey Maguire like had blonde hair and like cried for a while. That's
Spider-Man 3.
Yeah.
The bleach stage.
He just came off like he was this really nice guy and like really cool, and suddenly I just really started to get like the thing where you're obsessively like into them. No.
Suddenly.
I made it the terrible decision for us to exchange numbers. It was Halloween and I was dressed like a wolf, and we were walking together, and I was like, yeah, like we should like change numbers for like, you know, schoolwork.
Posterity. It's like,
I would text him, and you know, sometimes I'd be like, hey, like I'm eating alone at the Mexican restaurant across campus. You want to come chill with me? And he'd be like, I'm gonna take a rain check. And because in person it would feel like he was flirting with me. So it was one of those things, and I was just telling myself like, no, stop, like I'm being crazy. So then it started to get interesting. I wore green socks to school one day. By the way, these were not attractive socks. Like, I looked like someone trying to dress up as like a Powerpuff Girl when I wore these.
I remember those socks. Well, they weren't that unattractive.
They weren't that attractive. They
weren't that attractive.
But when I wore these socks, people reacted. Like, I think I texted him just talking about something from class, or just talking about something normal. And then and one of his responses was like, okay, but if I give you this assignment or like help you with this, like you'll owe me. And I was like, oh, haha, like, what do you mean? And he said, well, you know, those stockings you were wearing.
Stockings, like sexy, like.
At that point it was kind of like, okay, now I'm like, he is like into me, he's into socks, he's into something. Here's the thing you need to know about bathroom wall guy is he tried to be someone from like a Jane Austen novel. Like, I know some of you watching might think, oh, well, how stupid are you? Like, he was just asking for pictures or something. He wouldn't just do that though. He would like send this like articulate, like bantering like message of like, I saw a bird today and it opened its wing. Will you maybe open your wing for one someday?
Oh, that's good.
No, it's not good.
Okay, I don't know exactly what era, but he was like that era fuckboy.
Well, so in person, he wouldn't like acknowledge me. Like, this started to happen. Like, he couldn't handle that he was like showing his true self through text. But one time, I tried to walk up next to him and talk to him, and he literally ran away from me. Like, he ran. I've had 2 people in college run away from me. Like, that's how hated I was. In one of our classes where it was kind of it wasn't assigned seating, but everyone always sat in the same place. So I was kind of stuck sitting behind him in that class. And this new girl came to the class or started sitting somewhere else. This wasn't just a normal girl. You're gonna think I'm exaggerating because I liked this guy, but I'm being completely factual when I say this. She looked like a supermodel mixed with a porn star. I called her supermodel porn star. Wow. She had
all of it.
Taut, large breasts. She had...
Taut.
Anyway, so supermodel porn star comes into class and she starts sitting next to him. I started to find out he wanted to put himself in a weird friend zone with hot girls that he thought were out of his league. Because that's basically what supermodel porn star was. Like, she was never gonna want to date him, but she would kind of like the flirt friendship thing with him. He was into that. Like, he was like sexually attracted to the friend zone. So like, I would have to sit behind them and have to hear like...
That's awful! Having to sit behind them and it's like this guy you like and then he's just flirting with this girl.
To be like, see, I got a hotter girl now.
That's what
like,
I feel like sitting in front of you and like it sounds like it was purposeful.
You can't have me. You could have had me. Washed out Tobey Maguire, like this could have been yours, but no. But here's like what happened. So
this is like the peak of the action.
So I was in the bathroom one day at school, the public restroom. You know how sometimes you go into a bathroom, there's writing all over, but usually it just says stupid stuff like I fucked John against this wall or something. This particular time, I was sitting in there and I was looking at the writing and I was like noticing people had written like really personal like poems where they were sharing like difficulties that happened to them, and it was like beautiful and poetic and just raw. And I just had this impulse, like, I can't just sit in this bathroom stall and not also add to this wall of expressive, passionate females. But I couldn't think of anything unique for me to write. The first thing that came to my mind was, name of guy is a womanizer. See, it's vulnerable and it's out there because I'm putting his name, his full name. No one who ever knows him is gonna find it, so it's like, you know, you're putting it out there in this just vulnerable but obscure, sad way. And that was important to me in those moments.
You should never put the last name.
I know, but
That
like,
was
what
your
it was a school of like thousands of people. A lot of time passes from that point, like months pass. Then it's finals week. So then we're walking to our next class, which I also shared with the dude. We're walking up and he was walking in front of me. I kept walking slower and like it felt like he kept walking slower. And eventually we got to the stairs. He ended up next to me as if by chance, and I got really uncomfortable. He started talking to me, which was shocking because he ran away from me on campus like 3 months ago. He didn't look at me. He wouldn't look at me. It was like this and like, so, been writing names on bathroom walls lately? It didn't register because I'd forgotten how stupid I was in the bathroom stall. I was like, what? And he was like, oh, really? That's not what I heard. Enter the final. Do you know what kind of mental fuck-uppery that is? When you
For the final, especially. And he timed it so right, too.
No, I am the idiot in this situation.
Well, yeah, I forgot about the last name. That was pretty bad.
I tried to put a spin on it, like, what the fuck was that before class?
Oh, what were you talking about? That was wild!
If he was so sure that I wrote it, it's probably me.
Yeah,
but
and now that you're denying it, it's like,
yeah.
oh, you're like right there, like, it was me!
I started trying to deny it over text and was like, I don't know what you're talking about, like, you need to leave me alone, like, you're obsessed, clearly.
That's great.
And then he just texts me a picture of the writing.
Oh my
You can't
gosh.
deny it at that point. I start angrily texting, it was you. I was trying to
Yeah.
I wrote this paragraph message where I was sarcastically like, he thinks that I think he's a womanizer when really he's just a loser, like, screw that guy. I accidentally sent it to the guy.
Oh, like, that is, like, this... God, I can't even.
I didn't know if I was gonna have to have classes with him again, so at this point it's like desperation of saving face. I
Change schools! No.
I did change schools.
Yeah! Goes to new school website, hits application, types in his name and the name for the application. Occupation, womanizer.
I'm sure that he, like, tells this story to his family. People just, like, love me. They want the D.
They want the wings to open.
Okay.
He probably is gonna tell it to his grandkids.
He won't have grandkids. He'll never mate. He'll tell it to his, like, friend zone when he's, like, 90 or something. I think the lesson that we learned about this...
Don't write last names if you're writing something on a bathroom wall. Write the first name and like an ambiguous nickname like Carmelo Womanizer.
I don't really know. Just like give up when the person gets weird or isn't into you.
They're just not into you, and you will find someone who is into you, who really cares about you no matter what.
Or you will inevitably go crazy and write their name on a bathroom wall.